All right. Good morning, everyone. It is, Sunday morning for me. I know it's not for everybody else. Still fighting with the lighting situation over here. We're a little dark, but we're going to go with it. Let me know if you can hear everything okay. And I didn't know what I was going to do until I got on. And then I realized a couple days ago that I hadn't heard about it was formerly called International Drop a Rock Day. Now it is, I think, coming as World Drop a Rock Day, and I hadn't heard the theme for it. And I contacted Megan Murphy at the Kindness Rocks Project, and she clued me in. I just missed it in my busy time. So the word for this year is hope. And so, good evening. It's a good evening for you, Tammy. Good morning. Hi, Rebecca. So I'm gonna try and get a video out early this week with some ideas with rocks for hope. But I figured in the meantime, that's what I'm gonna do today, is to just make some hope rocks for Drop a Rock Day. So it's on July 3rd. And the idea, if you've never done it before, is that rock artists all over the world all drop rocks with the same theme word on it. So it's kind of like this global thing that everybody drops rocks on the same day with the same message. So this year, the word is hope. In the past, there's been You Matter. I think the COVID year, it was Together. Last year, it was Unity. So there's always a theme. And I just heard about it late, or I didn't follow up till late. Morning, Mary Jane. Morning, Tina. So I figured we're just going to doodle. So hopefully you brought some doodly stuff to doodle along. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just kind of pulling out. I brought my brush pens over because they're the good portable thing for me. So I have pastel brush pens, normal brush pens, and I just figure we're going to go for it. No idea what we're after. But we'll see. And I have this new thing on here that lets me show your guys' comments over in the side. So we'll see if that helps me bouncing back and forth with the mouse. So when you chat, it should appear in the right-hand corner. Oh, there it is right there. Good evening. Oh, another out of the country person. Yay, in the UK. Welcome. Okay. So I don't know what I think about that or not. It might keep me, we'll see. Let's play around. So I'm just going to doodle. I'm going to start with blocky letters on this one. I'm going to line it out before I, what's the word? Fill it in. And this is my curse. I always start too far to the right, but that's what happens. All right, so we have Scotland and the UK in the house. We've got US, all the fun things on a Sunday morning/evening. I feel like I posted the other day that I feel like I've been missing in action because I just had to back away to get through all of the craziness. I had a huge grant renewal application at work that was finished by the 1st of June. And then it was immediately jumping right into all the graduation stuff for the twins. And that was more than I thought it was going to be. Just trying to kind of make sure everything was done, plan a little party. We had family coming into town. And so it was a bit of a whirlwind, but it was fun. This color is just, it's not doing justice. I'm trying to move my lights around a little bit so you can see better, but this is actually kind of a yellowish, orangish yellow, maybe like a traffic yellow. And I just thought it would show up well on this darker rock. So yes, I have been missing in action, and I apologize, but it's also good to have breaks. And now we're heading into summer season, and I'm hoping I'll have some more time to paint and share videos and all the fun things. I am having to put some free time into job applications right now because a lot of you know I work for my job is funded by federally funded grants, and we have not received our funding yet. We get the funding every year, year by year. And one of them was due for funding on March 1st, so it's 4 months late. The other one was due on April 1st, so it's almost, I guess the other one's almost 5 months late now. Or no, 4 months. I can math. Really, I can math. So 4 months late on one and 3 months late on another, and the institution can bridge us only so far. So I am now putting job applications in to keep my options open because it may or may not come in time, and I don't want to be unemployed. So it's a little crazy. So I am having to put some free time into that, which is not a bad thing. I've been at my job for 13 and a half years. So it's not a bad thing to think about changing gears, moving around, trying something different, or just a new job within my experience, I guess. But it does take on a new something. I don't know what the word is, urgency maybe, or it's no longer like I can do this at my leisure and have it be my choice. There's a bit of urgency where I kind of need to keep my options open and really consider options that may open up. So we'll see. But that has taken away a little bit from rock painting because I got to do that too. So I'm just outlining this in black. I'm going to go kind of block letters. And then I think I'm going to come back and add more shadow. And since I was so close together, I'm going to make it kind of like they were overlapping each other a little bit, especially with that P and E because they are a little overlapped. So what have all of you been up to? Are you working on summer rocks? Are you, in the US, we have the 4th of July holiday coming up. I don't know that I'm going to get to anything new for that, but I do have some old stuff that I'll save and share. Summer is a fun time to paint rocks. I have also found myself, I will be completely honest. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the good luck. I'll be completely honest. I learned in probably the first year or two of this channel that the videos that did the best were kind of seasonal, like if it was Christmas time, Christmas designs, or summer, doing summer designs. And I kind of just want to do what I want to do this summer, even though I don't know what that is yet. So if you saw yesterday's video, it's not summer themed, but I totally it was something I wanted to try forever. And that was using hot glue on the rocks. I've seen people use it on canvas. And I was like, oh, I want to try that on a rock. So I dug into that Friday. I had Friday off. So I just dug into that. And it was kind of an all day off and on project, but it turned out really pretty. And I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet because I'm not going to hide them in the community because the hot glue, my local rock group has a rule that we don't do any glue on anything. So no googly eyes, no temporary tattoos, no, not even the labels. We don't allow that because we know not everybody can afford the resin to make sure that it's sealed properly. So we just have a rule and we just don't do it. So I'm not going to hide. And in all honesty, with the hot glue, even with the resin, I would be worried that it would somehow peel off because it did come off pretty easily. So I don't know. I'm going to give them as gifts or maybe a prize, or I don't know. I probably should open an Etsy shop, but I really don't want to be tied to having to produce things for something like that. I like just making my rocks, but I do have some that I do that aren't hideable for reasons like that, and then they end up piling up. Oh, that's right. Tammy is working on 80s rocks for 80s ladies night out. That's so fun. That's so fun. So Tammy was the first person to use, I have a new feature on the channel that got unlocked, I guess. YouTube unlocked it for me. There's a community tab now, and you can only access it through mobile, so tablets and phones. It's not on the desktop, but it allows you guys to post in that community post area just like I do. So you can share something you're working on. And so Tammy was the first one to use it, and she posted her painting space, and it had some fun neon rocks, and that's when I found out they were for 80s ladies night, which is so fun. I need to find stuff like that around here. I don't know. We must have stuff like that, but I just haven't sought it out. Okay, I'm going to set this one aside because I don't want to add any designs there until I'm sure it's dry. So just very simple block letters. What else should we do? I'm going to say, let's see, I'm going to test these pens to see what's working best right now, because some of these, I don't know what you do with these brush pens when they feel like they're, I guess you could do the wet paper towel trick. I haven't had to yet, but if they're not releasing paint as much as you think it should. Okay, this one I'm going to do cursive. Hopefully. And I'll come back and make it thicker. This is where the brush pens are kind of cool because you can use the brush tip part to get the thin stuff and then go back and fill it in. I just don't know. This pink is bright enough to show up on the rock. But if this is one of those rocks, here's a terrible trick that I do. I'm going to let you in. I'm licking my finger, and I'm just going to put some wet on the rock to see how dark it gets when it's wet, because that's what it'll look like with resin. So that means the pink will show, it'll pop a little bit better once the resin's on there. Terribly embarrassing, but it's what I do. If I'm near water, I'll use water, but I am not near water at the moment. So that is one way to figure out how your rock will do. So right now I am thickening up the downstrokes to give a faux calligraphy look. So anywhere that my pen went down when I was writing the word, I'm going to thicken those parts of the letters up, and it makes it look like a calligraphy pen wrote everything. It's a nice, fun look. And it's pretty easy to achieve. And you can do it with print too. It doesn't have to be just cursive. You can do it with print too. Okay, so I'm going to let this one dry a little bit because I feel like the pink needs some extra coats, but I need to let it dry first, or it's not going to, it's going to lift the paint that's already there on. So we're just going to bounce all around. Where is that funny shaped rock? Did I not bring it over here? I had a funny shaped rock, I thought. I think this is it. Maybe. I was going to make a balloon with hope in it and then a little stick person. So I'm going to make the balloon kind of big so that I can actually write hope in it, give myself the space. And when I need to fill in, I will often use the side of the pen because it just gives you more coverage at once. So I'll let that dry and I'll move on to my stick person. Let's see. Oh, I can already see a spot I missed on here. I need to try doing this live stream from my regular painting desk. I'm just worried because I wouldn't be directly plumbed into the internet if I did that. And I think that's kind of important for getting the live stream out to you guys, but I have better lighting over there. And I have just all my supplies because it's inevitable that I always forget something here. But I will have to try that one of these days and just do it from over there. Maybe I'll do like a test one someday. Give this guy some little feet. Going off the side of the rock. See, I have this problem of leaning to the right too much. And I'm going to fill in this balloon a little bit more before I give it some outline. See some missed spots. And I have a newsletter half written to send to you guys, and that hasn't gotten out yet. It's just busy. I feel like I just have to kind of slowly come back into the routine of things. And that's okay, because this isn't my job, so that's okay. You guys have always been very forgiving. I think I'm the one giving myself the harder time. And you guys are totally like, whatever you get, and you're happy about it. I'm going to outline this while we're waiting for it to dry. Oh gosh. Kind of went off the rails there. Might have to take my nail drill and fix that, but that's okay. Okay, so Tammy's working on 80s Ladies rocks. What is everyone else working on? Just fun summer stuff, or what have you been working on? Okay, let me fill this. I missed a tiny bit at the top here. You can see. So let me just fill that in a little bit. And then I'll fix this little weirdness with my nail drill. Or I should just leave it to force myself to practice what I preach about embracing imperfection, right? I'll let this dry, and I'm going to put some more pink on our hope here. Oh, cool. We have a new rock painter. You're new to it. That's so fun. So you have to tell us how you found it. Did you stumble into it? Did you find one? How did you learn about rock painting? It's the best hobby ever. I'm a little biased, but I think it's a fun hobby. It gained a lot of traction and new people, I think, during the pandemic, because people were home and they were looking for activities to do with themselves, their families. And so I think it gained a lot of traction then, and then kind of leveled out to normal ways that people find out about it. But I've been doing it for 7-8 years now. So it sticks. You get a little attached to it, and then you buy lots of craft supplies and you're in deep at that point. You're in deep. I don't know if you guys saw I made a short video, one of the vertical shorts, about cleaning up my rock painting area before the graduation party, and it was just such a mess over there. So I pulled everything out, and that was a fun project. Okay. So I'm going to put hope on this balloon because that just seems cute, right? A balloon floating up into the atmosphere with hope. There we go. Very simple, super easy. Kids would love this if they find it, right? It's a little stick person, little happy stick person. Okay, there's that guy. What else should we do? What else did I bring over here? I feel like my pastel pens might do better on, I have some more dark rocks off to the side that you can't see. Maybe let's do a red one. Let's see how my red pen holds up here. Where's my paper tester? Oh, it's ready to go. It is bright. So Tammy found a rock on a walk in 2021, and it took off from there. So that's how she found out. How about everybody else? How did you stumble into this hobby? I know what I'm going to do with this one. I saw it on the local news of all places. It was, they did this is going to be weird because it's very tall, but I'm going to do it anyway. Oh boy. So I'm going off the side of the rock again. It's my vice. Oh, how cool. Your husband built a rock garden and you found the idea from Pinterest. That's awesome. So do you keep them for yourself, or do you have a garden where people can come and take them and leave them? I would love to do that, but where I live, I'm not really on like a high traffic street where it would get people coming and going. And then it also makes me a little weirded out thinking of strangers coming to the house. But what do I know? All right, so my heart's a little lopsided here, but I think we'll fix that with the block lettering that we did where it overlaps. Do that with all of these, actually. That will help. Sammy's here to say hi to everybody.
Hi.
He's now officially headed to the 5th grade. So he's excited about that.
How many rocks are you going to paint?
I don't know.
Are you going to paint these?
That's why I brought him over here, but we'll see.
What colors were you using for paint?
Everything. Because remember how we always hide rocks on July 3rd for Drop a Rock Day with the same word on it? Do you remember doing that?
Wait, that's in Bridgeport, isn't it, though?
That's what we do, yeah. But, so we have to make a bunch to take. What?
During that time?
What thing?
The fair thingy?
What fair?
On July 3rd. With like
Yep.
needle in the haystack.
Probably. Tammy says hello. Do you know where Tammy lives?
Where?
She lives in Scotland. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I wish I could show you his face. He got a little wide-eyed and was surprised. So that's so cool.
Why don't you ever show your face except for in the videos?
Because I'm still in my pajamas. I don't need to be showing my face when I'm still in my pajamas. I'm comfy.
But you don't show your face on the other ones either.
I don't need to. People are coming to see what the yeah. Okay, this one I'm going to just add some shadow. So with shadow, I do it down and to the right. So you're thinking of like kind of a shadow letter that is down and to the right of your original. You could also go the other direction. Some people go the other direction and go down and to the left. You could go up into a direction also. Whatever works for you. I think it's probably due to me being right-handed that I go this direction. And I have this propensity for right side design and going too far. I just want this to pop off of the thing a little better, so I'm gonna go to the left. And I might add glitter to this later, we'll see. Oh, well, you're originally from California. That's super cool. How did you end up in Scotland, if we can ask? That's so cool. We're fairly close to California. We can drive to California in about half an hour from where we are.
No, we can't.
Yeah, we can.
It's an hour and a half.
The state line, though, is close. Maybe a city might be further, but the state line itself is pretty close.
That's right.
All right, so I'm going to block letter this, kind of overlapping because I goofed. Ooh, this rock, okay, so this rock looks smooth, and it is smooth for the most part, but it's got enough of a roughness to it. See all those little textures? Those are fun. You got married. That's probably the best reason, right? So yay for that. That's so cool. We have a cousin who, my mom's cousin, is married to someone from England, but he moved here. And he is just the sweetest person ever. And my mom was just telling me, because his mom lives in England and is still alive, and she's 108 years old. I was like, man, they must be doing something right in the water and the diet. Oops, I goofed. I meant for my heart to overlap there. So I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to go over it with red because I want the heart to be in front of everything, if that makes sense. I really got to figure out the lighting over here. I think part of the problem is I have a window right behind the computer monitor, but the computer monitor is kind of blocking the light from that. So I think that's part of the problem. Okay. So I'm gonna fix this where that little black line is. I'm gonna get red because I want the heart to be the standing out thing in the front for hope. One of the nice things about painting rocks is you can always paint over it when there's a mistake, right? Just paint over it. It's okay. Let's see. I always shut up when I'm writing because I can't talk and paint. I feel like I'm not multi-talented. It's probably why I do all my tutorials with voiceovers, because it'd be a crazy mess if I tried to talk you through it in real time. Let's see here. This looks kind of cool though. I think the other thing that I might do is I did bring my holographic glitter over here, is I might put glitter in the heart to really make it pop. That's a really good question. And I've actually been meaning to buy some of that to try it. So the glitter Mod Podge is a sealer, right? If I'm remembering right. There's a spray version and there's probably a paint-on version as well. So not a waterproof sealer, I don't think. There is a Mod Podge waterproof sealer, which did not exist when I first started painting rocks, because the big message was don't use Mod Podge to seal your rocks, because it will, if they get wet, it'll wash off, because it's kind of like, I think it's kind of like watered down Elmer's glue. That's what I think it is, because it smells like Elmer's glue. So let's see. I think you can use it for sure. The more fine that the glitter is, the less issue you're going to have with it distorting an image. But if you're talking about using it as a sealer, I would just try it. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Experiment with it, and see what it looks like. Try a kind of simple design that's something like this, that's, kind of big and chunky, and then see how it does. I love glitter too. I think anybody who's been around for a while knows that I love my glitter paints. So there are other ways you can include it too by, this is one of my favorite glitter paints because it goes with everything. It's this hologram glitter paint, which somebody messaged me on Instagram, I think last week, saying that they got some of this and she noticed that it had a kind of a green tint to it, which is true because it's iridescent. It does have a bit of a green. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it with this crappy lighting, but it does have a bit of a green tint to it. But that's what iridescent is. It's kind of that blue-green tint. And I think this goes with everything. But she ordered, I didn't even realize this, but there's numbers. I wasn't thinking about it. She ordered, I guess, she called their customer service and then ordered another one with a different number. And it was more of like a clear glitter that she wanted without that tint. So that's kind of a tangent. But I would just try it. That's the only way you're going to find out, is just try it and see how it goes. And it may work well for some designs and you may not want to use it for others. Lots of considerations that could happen. Oh, how cool. Oh, you took a class at your library. That's so cool that they did that. We haven't done that in a while with our rock group. Our local rock group was doing quarterly paint parties, and we would hold them at the local library because they didn't charge us. It was free to use the space, and then we could bounce around because our county's kind of big. So we could be at the north end, the south end, the west end, just kind of rotated around so that we were, um, trying to be close to everyone's home so they didn't have to always drive far. And we haven't done it in a while. All of us admins have been pretty busy, and one's had knee replacement surgery. So we've just been kind of all over the place. But the library is a great place to. I feel like it's always one of the things where the funding is always at risk, but it's such a great, like they do so many cool things. At one of our paint parties, we found out that one of our libraries has 3D printing that you can use for free. If you have, I don't know how 3D printing works, but I guess you have like a pattern or a template for whatever you're going to print. And if you bring that in, you could print it there, and it didn't cost, I don't think, which I thought was so cool because not everybody can. Yeah, not everybody can afford a 3D printer necessarily.
That was in Carson, wasn't it?
No. Okay, adding a shadow to this heart is going to be a little challenging, but we're going to do it. So yeah, libraries are a great resource. I did the Kindness Rocks project. Megan Murphy she had a certification course. It still exists, but I did it when it first came out. Where you could get certified to do workshops. And I did the certification, and not so much that I wanted to give workshops, but I just wanted to be aligned with the principles behind it, because that's where I when I got involved in it, that's where everybody was referring back to. That's where our rock group came from, those principles. But it definitely walked you through how you could hold workshops. That might be a fun thing to do. Or maybe I could do them virtually through the channel. That could be fun too. I have to think. Good purpose for another live stream. I didn't realize I'm like going off the camera. Sorry. I was pulling it closer to me. So again, I'm adding, oops, I forgot to outline this part of the E. I'm adding more shadow to this just to make it pop. And then I think I'm going to put some glitter in this heart because that's fun. I also had somebody message me, I think on Facebook, or maybe it was Instagram. I can't keep track. They were going to try resin for the first time, and everybody, including myself, the first time you're scared to death, and it just feels like it's going to be so messy and scary and awful. And they did great. Her husband helped her, and it turned out great. And you get addicted to that glossy, it's so pretty, the shine that it gives. I noticed there's a house in my neighborhood. It's the cutest thing. I'm thinking she's probably a grandma, but she years ago was painting ladybug rocks and putting them out. She's got a sidewalk in front of hers. It's a little more well trafficked than my area. And she was doing these ladybugs, and she had a little acrylic sign made that she had attached to one of the large landscaping rocks in her yard. And I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was something to the effect of like, please take a ladybug, like to let people know they could take them out of her yard. And she's been, I think this summer season, she's been painting, and there's just an explosion of ladybugs out there, like all different colors. So it's so cool to drive by because it's like this rainbow of ladybugs. And I noticed that I think she started using resin sometime recently, because they're shinier. They're really, like, you can really notice it when you drive by. They're so shiny. I'll have to walk by there and like not show her house off, but just show you all the ladybugs because it's the cutest thing. And I think people must not know what to do with them. I have seen some of our ladybugs in other yards, like when I'm walking around. So some people are getting it. But some people don't know what to do with it, I think. But that's okay. And then there's another house, like 4 houses, maybe 5 houses down from her, that I think there's kids there, and they must have learned about this somewhere because they have a bunch of painted rocks in their yard. And I keep meaning, we just walk the other direction. I drive that way when I go to work, but when we walk, we go a different direction. We need to walk that way. And I was going to leave some of my rocks in their yard and surprise them, see if it's something fun for them to find when they go to put more painted rocks out there. Okay, so this is another thing I do if you're new, since we have some newbies. I put glitter paint on with a dotting tool. And I don't remember ever learning this from someone. I just started doing it. And I think the main reason I do it is because I want the glitter to be on nice and thick and sparkly. So this puts kind of a thick layer on. And for the most part, like, because the dotting tools have different ends, different sizes, you can kind of control when you need to go around, a really careful spot to make sure you're along a line. When you put it on with a brush, sometimes you get the brush lines, or it's just not as glittery and you have to do multiple coats. So this definitely takes longer to dry because it's on here thick, but it's very pretty and sparkly. So I like doing stuff like this. I could, if I wanted to, these are blocky enough letters that I could go through and do all the letters, but I think I'm just going to do the heart so that it really stands out. And another pretty glitter to use on this would be red glitter paint for the heart, because that makes it kind of blend with the original color. But like I said, I think this hologram glitter paint goes with just about everything. One thing I forgot over here. Oh, I have a washcloth. Let me get something to wipe this off. Clarify, it's an old washcloth that deserves to be taken out of commission for normal washcloth purposes. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I feel like I've just been experimenting all of these years. I mean, I do watch videos. I love Rock Painting 101. Rachel's Rocks is amazing, but I think she has an amazing amount of artistic talent that I do not. Like, she can draw and create realism. I don't really feel great at that. I probably should not talk down about it, but it's not my strength. Like, I can't draw people. I usually need something to look at as a guide. So I feel like I don't know that I just have experimented. And that's why I said this dotting tool thing. I don't know that I learned it from anyone. I think I just started doing it. I don't know. I wanted thick glitter, so I put thick glitter, and this is what happened. So I refer to myself as a chronic doodler. I think that's how I'm described in my my channel description, that I'm a chronic doodler, because that's what I feel like. I'm not trained in any artistic anything, which I probably should take some courses. That would be fun. But then I feel like that formalizes it too much. Maybe that would take the fun out of it for me, like making it a have to, or I don't know. Like, it just might, I don't know. I'm still pressed for time. Still got a kid in the house. Still have the 2 big kids are still here. Still have the little kid. Maybe when I hit retirement, I can like become a real artist. So yeah, it's all just been kind of experimenting, especially some of the crazy things like the hot glue I did yesterday and the paint pouring. I haven't done one of those in a while, but I did watch YouTube videos to learn how people were doing it and how to thin the paint out. And YouTube is a great resource for learning. And I think learning from like just normal, nice people. It's not stuffy. It's not a paid course. It's just people sharing information, and YouTube is great for that. So I love do you have a channel? I'm going to have to go find your channel because I love your name, your Craft Room 2.0. Does that mean you like got to upgrade into a bigger room in your house? I don't have a craft room. I don't know if I ever will. I'm going to do glitter on this too because I'm now in a glitter mood. um, I don't have a craft room, and we've joked because my son that just graduated is going to be going into the military in late August, I believe. And so he will vacate his room and he might come back for a little bit after basic training, but then he'll be gone, which I don't want to think about that right now. But he'll be, like officially moved out. And that frees up a bedroom in our house that we joke that is my husband going to make it like a movie room, media room, or do I get it for a craft room? And in all honesty, it actually would be nice to have a guest bedroom again for when the grandmas come or, just anybody that you have a guest. But I'm a firm believer that I think that can happen in conjunction with whatever kind of hobby ends up in that room. You get like a day bed or some kind of, I saw a cool thing on, I think it was on an Instagram reel, which probably means it's not accessible to the normal people, but it was like it looked like a day bed, but then it could convert all the way into like a king size bed. Like you kind of unfolded the mattress thingy out, which I thought was cool because then if you just had one person, you put them on the day bed part. And if you have more than one, you open it up and it doesn't take up all the space. But so yeah, I don't know what will happen with that room. And I don't know if I want to abandon the space that I have for, I think, a good reason. So my painting area, I think I've explained this somewhere else before, but so our house, I have to give context. Our house, when we moved in, we've been here 10 years. The people before us remodeled the kitchen and it looks really pretty. It's got pretty granite countertops and everything. And so it's got a breakfast bar on the backside of the kitchen sink, which in theory seemed great until we went to find stools for it. And they made it, I think they did it themselves. And the breakfast bar is too high. So any stools that we could find, you still were kind of eating out of your chin. And so it's just too tall. So we joke and we call it the poop counter because that's the PG word because it ends up just stuff piles on it and we are always having to clean it off. But on the far end of it is where I stand and paint my rocks. And I have my rock painting bench thing with all my supplies behind that. And I like it because it's right next to the living room. So like if the whole family's in there and we're watching a movie or something, I can still paint rocks, but I'm not like pulling myself off from the family. And I like that. So that would be a downside to a craft room for me or I'd just have to maybe bring some stuff out temporarily and work when it's family time. Cause I do like that I can sit and do this and still have our family time. But I don't even want to think about making plans for his room yet, because then that means he's gone. I don't want that yet. So that's just this new season of life, I guess. I might just have to keep Kleenex handy at all times and just go with the flow. Oh, I got a little bit of glitter on the black, but I can fix that later when it dries. Oh boy. I think this will be pretty. This will look like sunshine. It's not, the color is not showing great because of my crappy lighting here, but it's a pretty orangey yellow. And with the glitter on it, it'll look like sunshine. So these will be fun to hide. I'm not sure. I think the original people that started when it was called International Drop a Rock Day, I think they've kind of, they're not doing it. And some other people are just kind of keeping it going, which I'm glad for because it's been really cool. And I think it stuck. Like people like doing it. Especially during COVID. I think the word that year was together. So it just felt really appropriate. And this word, I think, feels very appropriate. right now. And it's a short, easy word, which makes it easy to kind of make a bunch of rocks. Or you can make like this one, you make the word really big on the rock and then it's really noticeable. Let's see. Oh, fun. You have a little craft. I think that's cute. It's cozy. That makes me think cozy. Cozy little craft room. And you do mosaics, painting rocks, and drawing beads patterns. So cool. What do you do with your bead patterns? Do you do beadwork? Do you do bracelets or jewelry? I don't want to touch beads for a little bit longer. That was part of our graduation madness, is we beaded both of the kids' caps, their graduation caps, and they are very tiny little seed beads. And we waited a little too long to get started, so we were pushing to finish and stabbed my finger quite a few times. But it was well worth it. They came out really nice. But I need a break from teeny tiny beads for a hot minute. That's usually something I'll take with me and do when we go to powwows, because Sammy dances and I can't really take all my rock stuff, but so that's a good spot where you're sitting for hours at a time, and that's when I'll do some of the beadwork stuff because I don't do it near as much as I used to. All right. I feel like my reading glasses strength is not correct. The last couple of days, it almost feels like it's too strong. It better not be not strong enough, because that's going to make me not happy if I have to change it again. It just doesn't feel as crisp to me. So far we have these guys. The pink one feels like it's missing something, but I don't know what. Oh my goodness, this is so cool. I have a little corner in the den I'm setting up for my painting area. I have a nice desk chair, a table, and a brick hearth where all of my crafts are. Oh my gosh, that sounds so cool. And a pink sign I picked up, She Shed. Oh, I love that. That sounds so cool. Oh, and a TV. See, perfect. You can like binge watch your favorite things, or I feel like I listen to TV shows more than I watch them because I'm painting rocks most of the time, which is totally okay. You're still getting the gist of it. Or I listen to audiobooks because I've become an audiobook fanatic probably the last, when did I start listening to audiobooks? It's been a while, at least Sammy's whole life, because it's just hard to have time to sit and read books, like books that you hold in your hands. And I commute to work, so that's a great time to listen to them. And so if I've got a really good one that I want to finish, I'll also listen to it while I'm painting rocks. And that's just as good as TV, because you don't have to see anything. Your imagination does all of it for you. I need to find a new audiobook. I actually was holding off. I finished a really good one, and then I was holding off until all of the graduation banana craziness stopped, because I didn't want to I borrow a lot of them from our local library. Has an app for audiobooks. But you have to return them within 2 weeks usually. And I just didn't want to start one until all of the wildness was over. Oh my gosh. What kind of books do I like? I like all kinds of books. I feel like the last 6 months to a year, I've been listening to a lot of like rom-com type books, just because the state of the world is kind of depressing and I didn't want to read anything super heavy, and I just wanted to giggle and be silly, and that's what I was reading. I'm not super into like fantasy stuff, or the I don't even know the book genres, but like like the Harry Potter. I'm not downing on Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. I haven't read the books, but like Lord of the Rings, like whatever that genre is, I'm not crazy into, but I have read what was that series? The Fourth Wing. There's like 3 or 4 books. They're humongously huge, thick books, so they were very long audiobooks. I listened to those and I liked those. Yeah, I've started to like I was thinking that, Mary Jane, you're on to me. I've listened to a lot of biographies too. Viola Davis's book was really good. The one I just finished before the graduation mess was Jeremy Renner wrote a book about his surviving the accident with the snowcat. And that actually happened in our area. Like, I remember when it happened, he was at our local hospital. And he's just such a cool, like, I really enjoyed the book. I think he's got a great outlook on life, and he does a lot in the community here and everywhere, where he donates a lot of stuff to they had that show on Disney Plus where he was renovating like old buses and things like that, and then giving them to like big brothers, big sisters, and the Boys and Girls Club. And like he'd renovate them to where it was like had all the sports equipment inside, and then it had video games inside and tutoring spaces and just really cool stuff that he would do. So he does a lot of really good community work. I've yet to see him out and about in the community, but he was in like a Christmas parade in a local area that I did not go to because it was snowing and freezing. So his biography was really good. What else have I done? Oh, my favorite author, who I haven't read anything by in a while because I don't think she's had anything, is Jodi. I don't know how you say her last name. If it's Pico, I think it's Pico, but it's spelled Picoult, I think. She's one of my favorite authors. I read Michelle Obama's books and I really liked those. Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. I hate when I don't have a good answer for that because I feel like hardcore readers are like, this is my jam, this is my thing. But a handful of friends and I started a book club. I don't know when, maybe a few months ago. And it's probably the world's slowest book club because I feel like book clubs usually get through books in a month, but we're really taking our time and we're reading that Mel Robbins book, The Let Them Theory, which is good. I like it. I think it has a lot of really good practical life advice in it. But I think the funny thing is that we spend the least amount of time when we get together every month talking about the book. And it's more of just it's like just community time with a group of 4 or 5 women. And a lot of us know each other mostly from work, but some of us have moved to different jobs and just stayed friends after that. So I think it's cool to have that. Oh, you have a small craft room too, and you're an empty nester. Yes, audiobooks are cool. I think it's such a cool like I've noticed that I now have started to have favorite I don't know what you call them, like the voice actors that read the books, the narrators. Like if I see someone's name that they're this one lady, I think her name is Julia something. When she's reading them, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna go because I like her. She does a great job just kind of bringing all the voices to life, and it's truly, I think, an art form, just like acting, because you're one person and you're bringing all these characters to life, and you know making the feelings of urgency and scared and all the things come to life. That's not easy to do without vision too, right? Let me see. I'm gonna pull out, instead of these brush pens, let me put these brush pens away. I also brought over my regular Juilliard pens, and they are pretty bright and bold, so I'm gonna use some of that real quick here. This Juilliard set that I brought over, I don't think if they still make it. And I'm really sad that they don't, because I think this is such a great beginner set for people. And it comes in this cool little case. And then it's got the fine tip, a couple of the fine liners, and then the broad tip pens. And then it also had, I don't know if it's still in here, it had some carbon paper that came with it, and a dotting tool, I think, to do the carbon paper. Like, this is just the coolest starter set for someone who's starting out. But every time I've clicked on my link for it, it says it's not available. So that's a bummer. And I have swapped these out and put colors, like neon ones that I wanted to bring on a trip, with me. So it's handy that way. But let's see here. I'm going to do one more, and then I think we'll call it good for the day. And then I'll have to post some pictures of these once they're finished so that you guys can see them. Only bummer with these is they are the primer ones, but it is still new enough that it's got the window to show you how much is left in the pen, which is great. Oh, should we do block letters again? Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use the shape of the rock. I'm going to challenge myself here. So the H, I'm just going to line it out here to start. The H will be here. The O is going to be humongous. And the P, oof, I will straighten these out a bit here. And the E, will be that way. That's kind of different, but it'll fill up the whole rock. And so now I'll thicken things up a bit. I just remembered something that's completely back to the glitter comment, or the glitter question about the Mod Podge glitter. When you were talking about it distorting, would it distort the design? The finer that the glitter is, I think the less distortion you will have of a design. I love that dragonfly glaze glitter. I think that's a folk art product too. But it is very fine, and it is so fine that when you paint it on, you can actually write on top of it, like it's smooth. So something like that would not distort a design as much as like this hologram glitter is rough. If you were to try and go and write on top of it, it's bumpy because the glitter is chunkier. So that would be another thing I would consider in that, is how fine is the glitter, and that will probably give you an idea of how much it will or won't distort the design. All right, let's see here. Try and straighten this out so it lines out with my O well. Just make nice, big, bold, bright letters. And we always go out of town for 4th of July, so I get to hide these in a small town back home, and I love that. But then everybody always makes fun of me that we have to pack all these rocks when we go. They can deal with it, because they do like hiding them when we do it. And I did get word from my cousin, because she cleaned the cemetery, the family plot at the cemetery on Memorial Day, and I have rocks there on the graves, and they are just completely faded and gone. So they lasted, I redid them about 2 years ago, and they lasted about 2 years. And it's just because it's out in the direct sunlight. It gets snowed on in the winter. It's just, I don't know that there's a sealer out there that can tolerate all of the elements. So one of the things I think I'm going to try when I redo them this time is, I have heard somewhere in some rock painting group that people were using boat varnish as a sealer, and that just sounded too involved to me for like rocks like this, just regular rocks. But I'm thinking that it might hold up better in the elements since it's a boat varnish and it's meant to last in water, that maybe it will be a little stronger than just the resin. And I think this last time I put like spray sealer and then I put art resin and then, or UV, I can't remember what order, but I had UV resin and art resin. Like I did many coats to try and make them hold up. And it just, the direct sunlight and the weather, it's just too much when it's completely out in it. So if you do yard rocks, I always recommend for people to keep them in the shade if they can. Aha, there we go, yacht varnish. So since you know what it is, do you know where you can get it? Can you just get that at like Home Depot, like at a store like that? Or do I have to find like a boat store? Or maybe Amazon. Amazon has flipping everything. And I think that's part of the reason I didn't ever want to try it just for regular rocks, because if it's stinky, I'm not interested. But for a special project like that, I might consider it if it helps. So we'll have to see. Oh, a home store. Okay, perfect. I will go looking for that one of these days. I'm going to give this heart or Amazon. Okay, cool. I feel like that sounds like a dangerous thing for Amazon to be delivering. Is that just me? Like if it's stinky and chemically, like maybe it shouldn't be in a hot Amazon delivery truck, but that's just me. Give this a bit of a shadow. And I think we may do some glitter on this one, at least the heart. Which I'm running out of glitter here. Let's see. See if we can finish off the glitter so I don't have a ton of glitter in my cap on this heart. And we'll probably call it a day because I have so much laundry to do. I refuse to get the Sunday scaries today because I have to go back to work tomorrow, but I do have a lot of laundry to do and some cleaning. And this was the exception that I got to paint first. I try and make myself do chores, or at least one chore or a big chore before I paint. So I feel like I'm not abandoning my have-tos. But that's okay. It makes us happy, right? Better to be happy and have a messy house than to be grumpy and have a clean house and no painting, right? At least that's what I can tell myself. All right, so I will let that dry. I think I may come back and do the letters too, just to make it pop and be super, super shiny. Oh, you made rocks for your in-laws plot and it holds up in the Scottish weather. Something tells me that you have not as much sunlight. Am I thinking, like I'm thinking of Ireland and that there's a lot of rain and cloudiness. I'm feeling like that might be your weather too. So maybe you don't have as much direct sunlight. I don't know. I mean, the area where mine are, where our family plot is, it's in the high desert. So it's also high elevation. And like, I feel like people even feel like sunburns there are more harsh because it's in the elevation. So I don't know. I'm okay with redoing them every couple of years. That doesn't bother me. Maybe someday I'll learn how to do like how the headstones are done with I'm assuming it's like drilling, or I don't know how they get the writing into headstones. Maybe I'll learn that someday when I'm retired. And I won't have to worry about sealing things because they'll be just there. All right, so we made 5 rocks. Yay. So this has got me off to a start of 5 rocks. I started on one last night, so that means I have 6, and I plan to make more this week and hopefully get a video out with some ideas for people and just to kind of promote it, because I feel like I'm behind on promoting this, because I feel like we usually know a month ahead of time. And when I looked back, the Kindness Rocks Project shared it at the end of May, and I just missed it because that's when I was buried. So it's my bad. Hopefully you guys saw it somewhere else and you're working on stuff. And if not, thankfully it's a short word and you can do do things pretty easily if you wanted to produce a fair amount of them. So anyhow, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday and an awesome week. And I will see you next time online. Take care. Bye.